What is up, RetroManiacs? Welcome to the Retro Card Chat Podcast. My name is Mike, and I am from Mike's Retro Trading Cards, and I am joined by two men that are champions of debate expertise, or as I like to call them, chodes. They are Joe Day and EP Alcoholic. How you doing, boys?
That is not where I thought that was
champions of debate expertise. Yeah, that works.
I thought there was going to be their master debaters. I thought that was going to be the direction we went.
Low hanging fruit. I would never.
Especially considering the Patreon content we just recorded. I figured that's where you would go into this. But yeah, how are you doing?
I'm good. I'm fantastic today on a Monday morning that feels like 6 o'clock, even though it's 7.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, we did lose an hour of sleep.
We did. Rough.
Yeah.
It sucks.
Everyone okay out
Everybody,
there?
be okay. Be careful out there. We'll get through it together. How's it going, boys? What's new and exciting, Joe Day?
I have notes from my top right here. I have notes from my top, and I need to go over all of them from top to bottom, if you will. Lots of stuff to talk about. First and foremost, Frasier, Rittenhouse Frasier, the sell sheet just got posted. The release date has been released Wednesday, April 29th. And I ordered a case for the channel, boys. Of course I did. We are going to do another at cost break. The price right now, $135 per spot. That includes the random box you would get, plus shipping, all the supplies and things like that. That's a maximum. It could be less. It won't be more. $135. There are 12 boxes, and it'll be random box style like we did Game of Thrones. And we've already had a couple people claim some spots. So if you're interested, definitely let me know in the comments down below. Mike's going to take one. Yep, so there we go. EP's going to take one. So we're literally almost halfway full. So if you are interested, thank God it's a 12 boxer. If it was a 20 boxer, boys, I had to tap out halfway through or something. I can also get a case of the albums, the Rittenhouse licensed albums. If 4 people are interested in those, again, comment down below. The auto checklist is a lot of fun. Check out our interview with Steve Chernoff. He actually kind of gives us a preview of the auto checklist a little bit. And boys, the first ever MRTC bounty. I'm putting out a bounty. There is a Patrick Stewart autograph card. He was in an episode of Frasier towards the end of the run. I guess I only watched the first couple of seasons of Frasier religiously. But he played an interesting character, and he has autographs in this. So I am putting out a $500 bounty. If we pull that card on the channel, I'll give you $500, or you can just keep it. But I'm just throwing that out there. So that is the Frasier break. You may have noticed a little bit of a change here. Now, EP, I apologize. I'm going to give it one more shout out because your lease ran out. You didn't re-up your lease. So there's your code. That still works. It's still, even though it's Cyber Monday, I guess we could just call it the cyber code, if you know what I'm saying. So you can still use that. It'll still work. But we had to, the lease is now ended. Rob and I got our Silver Surfer comic books back. We did a reveal on the channel. CGC comic reveals, not as popular, but for me, go watch it. Get us over 100 views.
4 people watched it.
Yeah, thank you to solid. I think 5. I watched it last night. So definitely check that out. Thanks to Jim from Improved Collecting who did these. Got a grade bump on all of them. You can't really see what the grades are here. So there's a little teaser to go watch. Be the 5th person to watch it, the 6th person. I also got my Spawn #1 newsstand back. Todd McFarlane was hoping for the green ink. It came in silver ink, which is a bummer. And I saw he had signed some in green. I think the problem is that when you send in a case thing, they don't take your notes and put it with the comic after they crack it out. But it is what it is. And I'm actually going to send my Death of Superman in for the signature series. They have the writer and the inker they do dual autograph service for that. So I'm going to have the Death of Superman 9.8 I have. I'm going to get that done. Star Trek collection. Just got another big Star Trek collection in 600 cards and possibly the most valuable Star Trek card ever is in that collection. So at some point it's a 2-part video. That's how long I was recording. And I looked down and it was already at 25 minutes and I wasn't even halfway through. I'm like, All right, part 1 is over. We're going to go to part 2. So it was very abrupt. So keep an eye out for that. It's from stuff from 1967 Leaf all the way up to 2021. So there's lots of cool stuff. And some of the stuff will eventually make its way to eBay. Last 2 things quick. Lots of stuff this week. Big shout out to Card Guy 72, our friend Brad. He had sent me a couple of things that I wanted to shout out. First, I think this is the third one a viewer of the channel has sent me. A Signature Rookies autograph card of Curtis Martin. I'm going for the whole, like.
I gave you one of those.
Yeah, you did. I think Brent, our buddy Brent. Oh, I gave bleep his last name, but our buddy Brent also sent one to me. So thank you for that, Brad. Very unnecessary for people to send us stuff. But he said, I also sent you a little something from Canada. And I thought, I didn't really catch the meaning. Yeah, literally a little something from Canada. So this was placed in Hostess and Frito-Lay items. Nice. I didn't know that was Canadian. Like that was a Canadian brand. But yeah, a little Star Trek card still in the seal. So pretty neat. So big shout out to Brad. Appreciate that. And then finally, boys, after all that good stuff, after all that great stuff to talk about, got to talk about something bad. Got to talk about a bad actor in the eBay selling space. I had already texted you guys a little bit about this. So I haven't bought much of Connections, like singles on eBay, because I haven't opened up all my stuff. But the one thing I knew I needed multiples of was the Jack Quaid autograph card of Bradley Boimler. One of my favorite new characters, one of my favorite Star Trek card designs. And Jack Quaid, great actor. He's in The Boys too. So, it's awesome. He's only on card autos in cards. He did The Boys autos, and they were sticker autos in Upper Deck. So it was really cool. I wanted to have one to display and one for my set. So I went and I bought a couple of them. And 90% of his autos are awesome. They're really, really nice. And I paid up for one that was really, really nice. Or so I thought. I opened up the package, pulled the card out, and it is not the autograph that I had bought. It is the correct card, but definitely not the correct autograph. So I reached out to the seller thinking, he sells a lot of stuff. He might have just mixed things up. Honest mistake. No biggie, no biggie. So I reached out. I said, hi, you sent me the wrong card. It's the correct correct card, but the wrong autograph. And I sent him a picture of it. Anything you can do. His response, boys, blew me away. And I already sent this to you, but I'm curious what the folks watching will think. His response, we use the same image since we are selling many of the same card. Okay. He didn't put, this is a stock photo in the description. If he would have, I would have been like, my bad. I didn't read that. I didn't see that. He did not put that in the description. But okay. It's the next line that really pissed me off. Nobody has ever complained about the actual signature until now. Okay, then you have had the best luck with the nicest people. Could you imagine if this was a sports card and you sent someone the wrong card? And it's not like this was a $2 card. This was almost $200. If you're going to do stock images, fine. For like, what do you think the cap is on that? $2, $3 maybe?
Yeah.
Like not a potentially $200 card. And he goes, if you'd like to return it, you can. You. Yes, I am. You sent me the wrong card. Like I mentioned this on a video a couple of weeks ago. Like I've paid up for better autos, like beyond comps, because I know what I want to see in an auto. For him to be so like, no one's ever complained that I've not, and he picked the best auto as the stock photo, not like the crappy auto. He picked the best one. And I went and checked some of his other listings, and all his auctions, none of them say anything about using stock photos. His one listing where he has like 3 or 4 of a card available says it. And I'm wondering if he changed it after I said something, like if it actually said that before, because he's selling like 6 of them. But again, if you're selling 6 cards that are like $200 each and you're doing a multiple listing, I mean, maybe do a variation listing and have the pictures for all of them. Yeah. But come on now. I blocked that eBay, or I'm not buying from them again. I don't want to take the chance. Just the height of laziness.
I was going to ask how many they had, because they made it sound like they were selling like 20 of these $200 cards. I'm like, how do they get up with 20 of them? So
because they did have that many EP, and I'll tell you how. Because they searched the boxes and they pulled out all the autos, and then they sold the sealed packs that they know didn't have the autos in big pack lots. Now, they did disclaim that there will be no autos or relic cards in these. But so still,
one of those sellers you talked about.
They're one of those sellers. Yep. So who in the world always reads the description? We've talked about this before. We do, because we're vigilant buyers. But there are certain people be like, oh, cool, loose packs. Maybe I'll buy those and see if I can pull an auto or something. No, they've been searched and they've been yanked out. And that's how he has so many EP. He bought cases and cases and cases and cases of this stuff. Just opened up the packs that he found that had the autos and then sold the rest of it. So, yeah, easy block for me. Yeah, I also bought a couple of printing plates from that set from him, like 4 of them. Put them in a sleeve, put them in a top loader, put the 4 of them in a team bag, put them in a bubble mailer, and just threw it in the mail. Now, they got there safe, but like, who doesn't protect those cards at all? And just throw it like, so yeah, he's a block for me. Easy.
Yeah, like, at least say it's a stock image.
Right.
Like, that's there's no reason to not say that. Why would you? I mean, they're autographs. People collect autographs based on the autograph. You kind of need to let them know that they might not be getting the one they're looking at. Any card on eBay, though, if you're not, if it's a stock image, you have to say stock image.
Yes.
Like, that's just simple. If you want to do it that way, probably not the best way to do it, but at least say that to people. But what's up with Rittenhouse, though? Like, letting like that people can search the packs. They need to do a better job.
They do.
We would call out Fanatics for doing this.
Yep.
So we need to call out Rittenhouse too. That's kind of Bush League, that it's that simple for people like this to just pull out the autos. And thankfully they do, but you know, it's probably in the description that they say no.
Oh
autos,
yeah.
Right.
It's not like packs were searched kind of thing. But yeah, that is one of my biggest things with Rittenhouse. My biggest issue with Rittenhouse is they like, if you own a card shop and you open up a Rittenhouse to sell it by the packs, you got to mix up the packs. You know, if you're actually a decent card shop owner and not, where they're at and go, and like the relics are another thing. Like, you can feel that the relic is definitely in that pack. I don't know if that's just the Rittenhouse thing, but you can tell that the relics are in there too. So it's like, come on, you got to mix them up a little bit. At a certain point, I knew exactly, so I would avoid that area that I knew that, and I'm not going to say where they're at because I don't want people to get ideas, but I would avoid that area there towards the end. And then that way I have something to look forward to as after I open up packs and packs of base, I know where they're at. But yeah, this is something that folks that I've watched do breaks of Rittenhouse in the past have commented, they know where the autos are. So yeah, that's something that they need to.
It's an ongoing problem, like that should have been changed.
Yeah. So
fix that, Steve. Just fix it.
Next time we have him on, I'll let him know.
EP, how are you doing? I'm really sorry that I asked Joe what's going on. 20 minutes into the episode.
I had notes from my top guy.
He has more notes than I have for the whole show. So, how's it going, EP?
It's going all right. I'm going to say that last night my nephew plays in a band. They played at the here in Bloomsburg, and I was there. I like to go and listen to them, and then I help clean up all that sort of stuff.
Oh, and Sunday night you were there.
Yeah. I'm sorry, it was Saturday night, not last night.
Two nights ago. Okay.
Yeah, 2 nights ago. But so I was offered vodka, and I already had a few beers, but I turned it down because I knew I needed to be prepared and needed a full day of rest on Sunday to be ready for the show on Monday with the time change and everything. So I turned down the vodka. I said no vodka for me. Just wanted to let you guys know that
Fireball did you have?
When I said no to the vodka, they were like, "Well, they do have Fireball." I was like, "They do?" They didn't. He was just joking with me. But anyhow, yeah. So
you would have had that.
I probably would have said, "Okay, I'll take a little bit of Fireball."
Just a little bit.
Yeah, just a little taste, a little bit. So I had a good time. Obviously, it's a good show. We got 64 people. It was pretty cool. I told you guys in a text I had a story for you about live selling that I saw on TikTok. And so here it is. So somebody was selling cards that there were dollar starts, was supposed to be an auction. Didn't get a single bid on anything they put out. I probably watched for 20 minutes. It was probably 25, 30 cards. Maybe not 20 minutes, but 25, 30 cards, I bet. He was putting out like 1999 upper Upper Deck Upper Realm insert of Stephen Davis, trying to sell that for $1. So just like stuff that I was like, I can't believe that somebody's trying to sell these. Like a 1997 Grant Hill Fleer base card, trying to sell this kind of stuff he's putting out there. A lot of these cards are like, man, like I'm starting to feel bad for this person. And then after like 10 to 15 cards, like, okay, we're going to switch the autos now. And he put up a Mario Chalmers. I was like, this is going to be either really awesome, like a Griffey auto, like some banger, or something amazingly bad. Mario Chalmers autograph on an Onyx card, like a fake card that they had the person come in and sign it at their card shop. I was trying to get $1 out of that. Again, no bidders. Then put down 2 Dwayne Bowe autographs. Same thing. Onyx.
Oh, Dwayne
signed
Bowe
from their shop.
Tyler Simmons, pick those up.
For like a cool Dwayne Bowe auto, like I would definitely pay $1 for that. So I'm surprised there wasn't anybody that even bid on that, but there was nobody
fake
bidding
cards
on
like
anything.
Onyx. Are you talking they were old Onyx?
They were like it was like a made up Onyx card. Like it was a
there
card
is
that
an Onyx set that looks kind of like, I don't want to say cheap, but it looks like it's printed
cheap.
from a printer.
Maybe it looks like it was printed from a printer, so maybe that was the set. But in any case, they were autos that he had done at the shop or whatever. And I was like I said, I was feeling bad. At one point, we put down like even a Shaq rookie from like 1992 Upper Deck, but it wasn't like the normal Shaq Upper Deck rookie. It was some other one. And so I was like, man, like I just wanted to see him get one bid. Just I've never really watched live selling before like that. I just wanted to see one bid to see something happen, but nothing happened whatsoever. I have no idea how many people were in the room or anything like that, but I know it was not a good situation for that person.
EP's talking about this like I talk about having a couple of drinks and watching Terms of Endearment and getting like all like choked up about it, like sad.
Wasn't quite that sad, but I was like, man, this poor guy. For this guy. I did feel bad for him. It was like, but I'm like, man, put something out there. Put something out there that people would actually bid on. Like, cause I wouldn't bid on anything that he put out there. Even the Dwayne Bowe, even though I think Bowe had a great career and wouldn't mind having an auto for $1, but that just card was not the one that I wanted. So, and then lastly, my last thing, I don't want to drone on like some people. I'm kidding. It was all good stuff, Joe. I was just kidding. Making a joke. I was making a joke. No, what does he say? Oh, he's taking that sign off. Okay. All right. It's done. It's over. So anyhow, last week I ate a onion on the show, and I couldn't smell anything, couldn't taste anything. I'm feeling quite a bit better now. All my senses are back and stuff. And so on Friday, I was going to have a slice of cheese and some chicken. And I saw, as I pulled the chicken out, I saw there was a container with a little bit of onion left in there. And I was like, okay, I'll put this little bit of onion down there. And I took a bite. I was like, oh man, this is crazy. Like I was like thinking to myself, like I can't imagine what it must have been like to eat. Like, and I like what it would have tasted like if I had my sense of smell last week. It was wild. So there's a thing called misophonia, I think it's called, where if you get to have a stark reaction, a bad reaction when people are chewing and eating food and stuff like that. I want to apologize to everybody for doing that last week, crunching on that onion, and apologize for what I'm about to do right now because I have another piece of onion. I bought an onion. I can smell everything. It smells very, very strong. But here we go. Everybody, I apologize.
Oh, Jesus. This can't be a weekly thing.
Why not? Okay. He's chewing it up.
Oh, no. That was
flavor
a big
starting to hit him. Big bite. He can't talk yet because his mouth's still full of onion.
Yeah. Can you smell? Shake your head. Can you smell it?
I can feel it permeating into my nose.
He's gonna start crying again, like me watching Terms of Endearment. Yeah, this is brutal.
Wow.
Please don't touch your eyes. Please don't touch your eyes.
I brought this in case I need to wipe my eyes this time because I knew it would be bad. It's intense. I gotta say, it is crazy intense. Yes. Wow. I'm not crying, but
you're crying. I'm not crying. You're crying.
Can I open up my water? Have a little water.
I mean,
the camera.
God, he's a hot mess today.
Wow, it is intense. I'm gonna say, it's everything I thought it would be. It's amazing.
Wow.
That's what we become.
That's the show this week.
Yeah.
Might as well wrap it up right there.
And again, apologize to everyone who's buying cards from you over the last couple of weeks because they're gonna smell like red onion.
Last week he was like, no, nothing smells because he couldn't smell. Now,
Right. You gotta put some Arm & Hammer or something around the house.
I cut this at like 9 a.m. this morning or whatever, and it's been sitting in my kitchen, sitting out. And it's like, man, my kitchen smells like onion, like something fierce. So yeah.
How did you cut it at 9 a.m. when it's only like what, about 7:15?
Sorry, I said I cut it at 9 a.m. on Sunday morning. I apologize.
Oh, okay.
I left it
It's
sitting
been there for almost 24 hours at this point.
Yep.
Oh
My, that is rough.
All right. Well, I don't have any stories for anybody, but Saturday, it's the return of EP. That's right. Peer pressure has gotten the best of them. This Saturday, is it technically an extra innings with EP, or is this?
It can be, yeah. I mean,
okay.
Recorded in September, so I mean, yeah.
There you go.
Of what year?
2022.
2025.
All right. Well, since these two were very chatty, let's get into it. So our old buddy, Mr. Wonderful, Kevin O'Leary, he debuted a brand new diamond chain made by Tiffany and Company to carry his Kobe Bryant and Michael Jordan dual logo man auto 1/1. He stole the idea from Logan Paul, clearly, and I saw how much that card sold for. I'm going to start wearing this, and went to the Actors Awards and was on the red carpet with his gigantic diamond encrusted necklace holding the Kobe Bryant card, which is now worth over $20 million. So what a great investment that they can just keep telling us what it's worth. But yeah, how about that?
I hate this so much. This is the cringiest shit. And by the way, like, Logan Paul doing it was cringy, sure, but like, he was the first one to do it. Like, it was like,
and that's more on brand for Logan Paul.
And that is so on brand. He was like walking out like shirtless, ripped, with like, trunks, like
at WrestleMania.
WrestleMania, like that's different than walking around in a suit. Like, you know how you can tell when kids do something and you can tell that thing is dead when adults start doing it, like the 6'7" thing.
Like when Jeff Wilson wore the 6'7" shirt
right,
for
like,
Halloween.
Yeah, like stuff like that. Like, okay, change for cards officially dead now. We got an old man doing it, and it was so beyond cringy. And yeah, is this just a way to increase the value of the card? That way, when he sells it on Golden Auction, that he can say, "Oh, this was worn at whatever." Like, it's like the new game worn jersey thing. Like, oh, it was worn at the Emmys. Okay, cool, or wherever it was worn, like some sort of acting awards. Like, cool, it was worn there. I just it's mind blowing. Like, are we just gonna have that? Is that now going to be a thing where actors and athletes are paid to wear cards at places and say, "Oh, this is the card that so and so wore at the Academy Awards," and accepted their Oscar? Come on now. It's absolutely insane, asinine, stupid. I hate all of it. The real Paul Orndorff needs to, he's dead, right? I think, sorry, Paul, if you're not, but you need to come back.
I think he's still alive, isn't he?
Okay,
no, he died a couple years ago.
Okay, then we need to resurrect the real Mr.
I gotta look this up. Keep talking.
We need to potentially resurrect the real Mr. Wonderful so he can pile drive this annoying MF. We're like, it is. I can't stand it. It's the worst. Mike, and our verdict is.
He passed away in 2021.
God rest his soul. God rest his soul. So yeah, you need to lay the smack down on this Mr. Wonderful, because this is so terrible.
I wrote down my notes. There you go. That's what I think of it. That's a monster douche move. Like, this is like just that. The thing is, yes, the people wearing the cards and chains is going to be a thing, but it's going to be a thing for these people that are dealing in car. I mean, I just thought of I was like, it's only going to be for these douches that are at the top that are buying these super, but you're going to see like kids doing this, right? With like their $10 cards.
I don't know
guess might be happening.
if they didn't do it when Logan Paul did it, they're not going to do it because of Mr. Wonderful doing it. You know what I mean?
But I think if he proliferates it, then somebody else is going to do it. Next thing you know, then it's going to.
Oh, I think it's going to be Jeff Wilson's going to do it. There's no doubt in my mind at the next national, Jeff Wilson will have a chain and he will be walking around with like a Star Jordan or something ridiculous like that. Like, what would be hysterical, EP, is if the three of us did it for like a national, like got like string, like made it like super like cheap and had like a 90s junk wax card and a PSA 10 or something ridiculous like that. Like that would be funny to make fun of that. But yeah, like I don't see kids doing it, but I see like the Jeff Wilsons of the world.
If you're watching this show right now, go to your local show and put a piece of string and tape a junk wax card to it. Take a picture of it and send the picture to retrocardchat@gmail.com.
Yes.
We want to see those pictures.
Yes,
that is your directive.
Yeah, we will post them.
I want to ask you guys, what card would you do that with if you had to pick a card like right now off the cuff? And everybody in the comments,
joke
let us know
or as serious.
Oh, whatever you want, whatever you want. What are you picking? What are you wearing? If we had to go to the show tomorrow and do it,
as serious, it would absolutely be my 50th anniversary dual autograph of Shatner and Stewart. As a joke, it would be my PSA 10 Brett Emanuel, mislabeled Brett Emanuel die cut rookie card from SP for sure. No, you know Brett. You don't know Bert. You know
Brett. I know Brett.
Yeah, Brett. Yeah.
Brett. He was
Mike,
a good guy.
Mike, what do you think?
I think my serious one would probably be my Todd McFarlane autograph, and my joke one would be my Todd McFarlane not autographed.
Oh yeah.
Perfect.
So,
EP.
My real one would be the 89 Upper Deck Griffey rookie. Just that would be the one. And then my joke would be any 1991 Fleer base card. Probably a Griffey base, but any one of those would be great, I think.
Wow, fantastic! This got me to thinking, though. First of all, I openly admit, going way back to episode number 1 when we listened to the Michael Rubin podcast. The thought of having influencers come in and like do stuff, I was very positive about wanting to have, not the crazy influencers, but like athletes and stuff be more a part of the hobby and everything. I didn't really think that the plan at the time was going to be like 70-year-old bald dudes dressed like they're 25-year-olds wearing a diamond crusted card. And can I say, by the way, horizontal card just doesn't work for a necklace. Yeah. At least the Charizard card was a vertical card. Like, it just looked really dumb, and it came off as totally cheesy. But yeah, unfortunately, again, where we liked when the baseball players had the cards in their back pocket during a game. That was fun. This stuff is just clearly what it is. It's I'm going to do this because it'll make my card worth more. And it will. Like, these people that just have more money than they know what to do with, that are coming in the hobby, don't care about collecting. He doesn't care about that card. It's an asset to him. But anyway, I do want to say, what happened to the big announcement on the 27th of February? I'm still waiting. Was it the chain?
God, I hope not.
Had to be, right?
Had to be. They didn't mention, although when he originally said about it, he said he and his team, but maybe it was the chain. I don't know. But
if that's an announcement to make grown men cry, we know very different grown men. Like,
we're crying for a different reason,
right?
Totally different.
In between that or eating a red onion straight up. I mean, But yeah, if this was the announcement, like, I think we all assumed, because did he say it was a card, specifically a card that would make grown men cry?
Card. Yes, I believe so. A card that would make grown men weep, right? Yeah.
So like recasing or putting, a little accoutrement on a current card is not a card. It's just changing or adding to something he already has. So yeah, are we thinking he had something in mind and it fell through, or what? Because if there's no announcement and he's trying to pawn this off as the thing that makes grown men cry, that's really pathetic.
I mean, again, like, it's right there, monster douche. No, I mean, he I think he was so stuck on himself that he was gonna actually show off this card that was the card. I think I did write down another thing here on your 1 point, Mike. Like, I don't think Ruben thought of Kevin O'Leary as an influencer. He was thinking of other people, but he sure as heck was happy when he did this, because obviously that's one of those people with that huge amount of money buying huge amounts of cards. So yeah, I mean, Ruben's definitely happy about it.
Well, regardless of any of the craziness going on, it is not slowing down the sports card hobby. The February set another record for online card sales, $481 million worth of online card sales. eBay did 339 million. Golden did 56 million. Fanatics collected 48 million. Heritage did 21. Alt did 18 million. And these do not include any sales from card shows, shops, manufacturers, or retailers. So the amount of money being spent on cards is just like, it just keeps growing. This is amazing. Like it is truly a boom in the hobby. Like, we had the COVID bump and everybody thought, oh, well, it's never going to be that. I think we're getting back to it at a little more realistic level for, like, not just everything is going up in value, but like people are buying a shit ton of cards.
They are. Famously a couple of years ago, literally famously, I did make a joke about a certain sports card investor being a fraud by going on his channel and telling us that, it's bound to rebound. Like, we're at the low. Now, it wasn't the low. We did go lower after he made that comment, but it has gone up since then. Now, I don't think he knew that it would. I think he got lucky that it did. But yeah, like, he accidentally stumbled into being right a little bit, which is gross. We got a lot of pushback, actually. EP wouldn't know, he doesn't read the comments, but we actually got a little pushback last week about our is the hobby dead kind of thing. These things that people say that, these, what did we call them? The lies of the hobby, the hobby's dead. And we said, no, it's not. You can clearly see it's not. And we got a little pushback of that. And I think the question was, well, how are we defining the hobby? Are we defining the hobby like, when stuff is as cringy as the last story, it feels like the hobby's dead, right? It feels like stuff like that makes it feel like the hobby is dead. But I think our points would be that it's not dead, because there are still people going out there on eBay. Those eBay sales are not all $2 million sales or $500,000 sales. They're $2 sales, they're $5 sales, they're $100 sales. There's everything in between. So again, I think this proves that the hobby is not dead. Now, if all those sales were, consolidated between like Fanatics Collect and Golden and those type of places, that, you can't be poor and buy cards from Ken Golden, like, okay, then I would agree. But with eBay dominating the sales between any other online purchasing platform, I mean, that's got to tell us something, right? So the other takeaway I thought from this is, how about Golden ahead of Fanatics Collect? Did that surprise anyone else? Like, and that's with Fanatics Collect having the inside lead on a lot of these cards.
Although Golden did have one card sell for 16 million.
That's true. That might skew the.
I'm gonna guess that did skew them a little bit.
Yeah. I'll be interested to see what it looks like next month if we talk about it again.
Yeah, those numbers are crazy. The hobby is dead. Like, what's the argument? Like, Rittenhouse is still out here selling cases of selling binders for their products. People are still putting cards in binders. People are still collecting. The problem is, like Joe said, like, what we see is the Kevin O'Learys, we see these giant sales, we see people pulling these huge cards that they're going to flip, and that's what we see. Where there are still a lot of collectors. As somebody who's sets up at card shows, and I saw all those kinds of cards like Joe was just talking about on eBay for $1.65 and $1.99. I saw tons and tons of those cards. There ain't nobody buying like a Pat Listash 1989 Topps card for, or maybe it wasn't 89, whatever year he won.
It's in the 90s, yeah.
So, 92, but yeah, 92 Pat Listash card, because they're going to flip it. They're buying it because they want it, kind of thing. So there's still tons. There are way more of us and those people out there than there are these people that are buying and selling on the high end. So
I've said the average of the sales are lower.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
I've said this for a while. There are two completely different hobbies encased in our one hobby. You have the people that like to spend a lot of money, the people that are flippers, graders, all about the money, but there are way more collectors in this hobby than people realize, because nobody talks about the guy going to buy the Pat Listash card, or the people, all the different people that buy 50-cent and dollar cards for me in stack sales. These are like, there are so many of us, and there just seems like there's more and more. Every sale I have on Twitter, I have new buyers coming in. I have one guy just started buying basketball cards from me. I don't even think he was really a card collector. He does something for his job with basketball, and he started buying this. He's like, this is really cool. And he's bought stuff, and he shared the cards with his kids when saying how much his kids enjoyed putting the cards away. Like, brand new guy. And he's not buying, boxes of cards or buying into breaks. He's buying these basketball cards from the 90s that he thought were really cool. Like, that was really awesome. But I see a lot of that. And I think that there are just so many. You go to the National, you see all these people that aren't the flippers and the influencers and the YouTubers. They're looking through that Dollar Club place does so much business there. I couldn't even get to the boxes last time we went. So, like, there are two completely different hobbies. Yes, one of it's quite different than where the rest of us live, but there are a lot of us in this lower end that just enjoy collecting.
Yeah.
All right. Nobody has anything else.
I do.
Okay.
I did want to comment on the overall numbers just quickly. Like, you said it didn't include retail, and you think about like how many retail boxes are being sold. And I realize that the retail is a bad investment.
Walmart and Target alone. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but then also, like, I went to Kohl's Hardware here in town the other day, and as I've said before, they had some like Topps Heritage packs. At one point, they had like 3 different products. They probably have 10 to 15 different products now. Like, they expanded the amount of stuff they have, like the Upper Deck Allure hockey even. Like, so I'm not sure what's going on, but they have expanded that. That must have done well enough with it to start getting more and more stuff in. So, like, I mean, if you're talking about a hardware store now carrying it as well. So, I mean, I think it is maybe not to that level. It wasn't like 1990 when you could walk into KB Toys and pick up that pack, and Kmart, and everybody had their own kind of card. But I think it is a prolific amount of cards out there in a bunch of different stores.
And to the point about, like, I think the reason people might think most of the hobby PC content does not get views, right? I know Northeast Ohio Cards and Comics has talked about this quite a few times. It's the new stuff that gets views. It's the big sales, like the Kevin O'Leary card, that gets views, talking about that, not positive views. Some people hate watch to hear about that. So, if you think the collector side of the hobby is dead, it's just because people aren't putting their stuff out on social media. Hand to God, I would have had, and I think there are a lot of people that would have had no clue that Star Trek cards had value, because no one talks about them. They just keep them in their collection and they go and buy and whatever. And then I started talking about them a little bit, but it's like, yeah, right. It's like they don't want to ruin it a little bit. They're like, we have our thing. But people don't do a lot of PC content. So you don't see that, you talking about two different hobbies, Mike. You don't see that side of it as much, because even people who are on YouTube very rarely talk about their PCs on a regular basis.
Well, March will probably be setting another new record, because the Otani and Aaron Judge dual gold Logo Man autograph 1/1 is up for auction now on Fanatics Collect.
I wonder how they got the inside track on that.
I don't know. It's weird, right?
Weird how that works.
I think I saw the bid with the buyer's premium was already over $1 million on it, but clearly this is going to be one of the biggest baseball cards of all time. This isn't all of the story, though. If you want, now I'm not saying you should, but if you want, you can go to betonline.ag.
Oh my God.
And you can bet the over-under on the card selling for $5.5 million. So we've talked before about the predictive markets and how, this is gambling that's not regulated and stuff. We've also talked about Fanatics starting to get into some of this stuff too. I don't think this is affiliated with Fanatics, But it got me thinking. Here you have this card going up for auction. There's already a place where you can bet the over-under on that. We are going to very soon see Fanatics offering these predictive market type of bets on their own cards that they're selling on their own platform, right? Without question.
I have such a we all obviously have such an issue with this, but I've always thought it was so scammy to have things like betting on the winner of a WrestleMania match, for example, right? Because the winner's determined. Someone knows who the winner is.
Mm-hmm. Many people probably, right?
Many people, yes, obviously. Yeah. And then, the color of the Gatorade. Well, if a player really wanted to be underhanded and shady, they could figure out what color of Gatorade to dump. So, all these kind of bets where someone has insider information. Now, this is a little different, but okay, how much do you need to bet on the over-under to cover the gap between bidding on this card and potentially getting it that you just were the reason, and you also bet $5 million on the over-under. Hopefully there's a cap. I mean, actually, no, I don't care if there's a cap or not, because it would just screw over the website that was doing the betting. Yeah, and if something's scammy and something skeezy, that means Fanatics is going to get in, baby. They can't let this out there for everyone else to get money from. They've got to get some money themselves. But again, they can control the levers of what is the outcome of a lot of things they could potentially predictably bet. Again, Vince McMahon could have easily made a cajillion dollars betting on the outcome of WrestleMania matches because he picked the outcome. He was the person who picked it. So yeah, I don't like this at all. And it's a rigged game. It's not a fair game. So if you're going to do this, be prepared to just throw your money away. But Fanatics is not going to let some other company make money when they could. Come on now.
So I don't like to repeat. I always like to repeat what Joe says. Obviously, a lot of times I'll end up doing that.
You usually wait for your other podcast to repeat what I say.
But true, just because I have to follow Joe, so I don't want to repeat everything he said. I agree 100% with all this, the pulling of the levers and everything like that. But I will say, hammer the over, dude. Because that's what's going to happen. Yeah. People are going to bid and bid and bid until it's over, just to get that over. So hammer the over. Just go at it. Definitely. Don't bet on this. Please don't. But if you do,
if you do, hammer the over.
I took all the money that we make from this channel. I bet the over. So
I'm nice. Fine with that. 100% fine with that.
I will say one thing. If Fanatics does decide to do this, start doing this, that is the thing that says, regulators, here we come. They're going to get regulated because they would have to.
There's already tons of this type stuff out there, though, and they're not based in the United States most of the time. So,
okay,
yeah, that's risky.
Look quick to see if the odds have been updated on it. So,
I was going to say about 5 million is probably what I would think it would go for anyway. So 5.5 sounds like the right line, right?
This sort of predictive betting, sports betting had, as soon as you could bet on a pitch, the outcome of a pitch,
right?
That's when it got out of control. That's because you're literally sitting there watching a game and you are betting every time a pitch comes out. Do you remember back in the day? We feel like old men, but remember back in the day when they would kind of sort of talk about betting on ESPN, but it was kind of sort of, they weren't talking about betting.
Right. Yep.
And it was saying,
they bring up the money line or whatever, but they wouldn't say anything.
But they wouldn't call it that.
Right.
They wouldn't call it the money line. They were a lot of folks in towards the West Coast are saying that this game should score about 70 total points. I missed those quaint little days.
I can't find it, and I'm overwhelmed with what I saw on that site. So yeah, I'm just getting out of there before it's too late.
The algorithm has been changed, Mike. Prepare yourself.
All right. Well, what are we going to go to next here? PSA had actually a very good tweet this past week. They tweeted out about 2025 Prism football. I guess a lot of people have been getting grades back that were lower than expected, and they showed that a lot of the cards on the back have running from top to bottom on the back roller marks that you have to hold the card a certain way. There's indentations from the rollers on the back of the card. I was actually kind of shocked that PSA was actually taking the time to not promote something or sell something, but actually give collectors good information about what they've seen in grading cards. Why don't they do this more often? Why is this? I don't know. They may have done this before, but I don't remember seeing it very often. This is something they need to do more of.
They do. It's definitely a reactive post. It reminds me of like the Anthony Richardson autographs. Remember, they were grading them until people overwhelmingly flooded them with complaints, and then they stopped grading them, and there was that whole mess. And I think that's what happened here. Like, they were tired of their customer service people getting absolutely annihilated with complaints and calls about why is this clearly 10 card grading a 7, and they threw it out there. I mean, in theory, I do like this. If they saw a common defect with a card, I think it is smart of them to do that. I mean, we have talked about them trying to maybe turn the faucet a little bit too, and maybe they're thinking this will help turn the faucet a little bit on submissions. That's a set that gets graded a ton, so if they can turn the faucet a little bit on that, so less people are sending cards in because they are behind right now, wouldn't be a bad idea. I will say, it, like, part of me was like, boy, that's some direct shade of Panini. And then I'm like, well, wait a minute, doesn't Fanatics print these cards? So I mean, it's kind of like another thing that Panini's being blamed for that we can kind of throw Fanatics under the bus for, right?
The one of the crazy things about this set though too is like the people that were going to grade these probably already graded it. Like as soon as they got it, they put it in a soft sleeve and then in a card saver and sent it off, right? So that all of the people that graded Prism, like, think about the amount of Prism that was probably already sent in, the amount of calls they probably got from this, because if it was as widespread as they make it seem, like, they're probably like, no, I wonder what I didn't look at the population, the PSA 10 population, but it's probably ridiculously low. Like, so I wonder,
probably softening the blow, like preparing people when you
Mm.
get your shit grades back. Don't call us.
Right,
We already tweeted
right.
about this.
Yeah.
It's not turning the dial back because those cards are all sitting in boxes for the last 3
Right.
months there anyway, or 4 months. Yeah. It's funny too. You said, Joe, about them Fanatics owning the printing company. Did you guys see the Cooper Flag card this week?
Finest.
The finest. What was it? The finest finishers 1 of 1. That was only the top of the card. It was
They
the
didn't
foil.
finish.
They didn't finish the finishers of like a product hit. How in the world does that happen? I can't believe that, like, those are just being printed and thrown in with everything else that are printed. Like, they have to be done at a certain period of time. How are they not checking to make sure that, I don't know, the rest of the card is there before it goes into a pack?
I mean, it's crazy because it's a product hit, but if I was Fanatics, I would come out and be like, see, everyone, we print the things and we don't know where they go or what they look like. See, maybe they did this on purpose, Mike. Where's my conspiracy theory at? Maybe they did this on purpose to throw people off the scent that they know where everything is in products, because if we knew where it was, we clearly finished the finisher and put the back on it, right? So we're not conniving, we're just idiots, right? Like, that's the juxtaposition you have there, right? We're not conniving, we don't know where all this stuff is, we're just really stupid. So
that's usually how they play it with everything they do.
100%. Oh, we didn't put in any of the rookies. Oh, well, we're dumb. Like it's
we'll do better next time.
We'll do better next time, and people fall for it because there's nowhere else to go. This is it. Strap in for the next 20 years, boys.
That was a Leighton break, wasn't it? I think it was Leighton.
It was Leighton. Yeah.
And
it was Forrest, who I love Forrest, but he was like,
So it was Leighton's turn to get the big hit, but then the big hit ended up being the top of the card. Now, my question for a lot of guys was texting with you guys. I think I texted this out. Are all of the 1 of 1s like this? Was this the only one?
That's the only one I've seen, but I don't know.
Is there a blank card with the only the back on it somewhere else in the product that is in another box somewhere? Like those are the questions that I have. Like could you imagine getting that and then having to put the two of them together?
It has to be the sheet, whatever. Like if whatever sheet that one of one card was on, that you would think that entire sheet would have the back missing, because how does just one back fall off? So I don't know. Like, remember those uncut sheets we used to people used to collect? Like I assume it's still kind of like that when they go through the process.
Yep.
So you've got to think that every card in that sheet, whatever it might be, has to be missing a back. Like where does that go?
I'm guessing all the 101s are probably printed at the same time in the same sheet with the same like finish and the same stamping procedure. So I'm willing to bet that they're all potentially a lot of 101s out there. Maybe not all of them, but I haven't seen any other examples of it. But then again, like Cooper Flag is the biggest card probably in that product. So, gosh.
Hopefully they replace it. By the way, hopefully they replace it or do something. I would think they will, but who knows?
I want to talk a little bit about this. I don't have confirmation on this and stuff, but Boston Card Hunter, who does content on, I think, TikTok and YouTube and stuff, this week mentioned that he saw that PayPal goods and services now no longer covers, I think, do I have that right? No longer covers trading cards. I don't know if it's always said that. I feel like it kind of has.
The way I looked at it, the wording was interesting because the way I looked at it, it made it feel like they possibly never did. And we just didn't know. And we just assumed that they covered any goods and services that you would be buying. So you could read it either way. You could read it, nope, we're stopping now because we're losing too much money because of people filing claims, right? Or you could look at it from, they're just reminding, someone just stumbled across the verbiage that said, wait a minute, I don't know if they actually cover goods and services here. You could read it either way, in my opinion.
But the seller is going to be like, I don't need to worry about using goods and services. Just pay me, friends and family. If they're not going to cover it, then just pay me friends and family.
If they're not going to cover it, then
right.
Well,
I mean, yeah.
All right. Here's an interesting thing I saw this week, EP. I want to get your opinion on this one. There was somebody on Twitter who had a post showing an eBay seller that's selling low-end cards with free shipping. Right up your alley, right? It wasn't you, though, but they had right in their title, Min 2. And apparently what the seller is doing is requiring people to buy a minimum of 2 cards from him in order to get the cards because of the price of shipping and including free shipping. So saying that if you don't buy 2 cards, I will cancel your win on the 1 card. Why not just charge shipping? Right? Like, if you're to that point where you're so worried about it, why are you just not charging or a little something for shipping on a card? 50 cents, whatever.
I build the shipping into my prices. That's why I'm going through when I do my end listings and sell similar. I'm changing them all to $1. Well, not all of them, but most of them to $1.99 because that is that'll make sure I make I think it's 30 cents a card or something like that, 50 cents a card whenever I sell one. But it's you need to build that in. You can't it's a tactic, I guess. And the thing is though, if you're canceling a bunch of orders, that's going to come off bad. You're eBay's not going to like that. Your customers aren't going to like that, and eBay's not going to like that. So it just seems it's a tactic, but it's a bad one.
It's a way to have his cake and eat it too, right? He can say, "Oh, I don't charge for shipping." Free shipping is a thing that people tend to look at when they're buying eBay stuff, and they say, "Oh, it's free shipping." Okay. Oh, I have to buy 2. So he's hoping there's enough people that will just say, "Oh, I'll just buy a second one." And to be fair, as a buyer, I'll see someone says, "Oh, we combine shipping," and if I'm going to buy something and say the shipping's like $5.99 or whatever, I'm like, "Oh shit, let me see what else I can add to maybe do that." So it very much does feel like he's trying to get the eyeballs for saying he doesn't charge for shipping, but then also require people to buy 2 cards, which otherwise they might not, especially if it's a low end card. Sometimes you just want that card. You need that one card to complete a set. And,
Yeah.
you know, now you have to buy a second one or say it's free shipping if you buy two. If not, I'm going to charge you $1 for shipping anyway. So
Right. That's not
go,
too
you know, like something has to, yeah. But I don't know if eBay has options like that. That's always been an issue with eBay. Like there's some little picadillos that you know, like on certain sales that I want to make, but I can't because eBay doesn't have that function. You know,
I think that is one of the things you can do. And one last thing on this guy, like if you're going to do this, like you have to be well under comps, right? Like part of the reason why the comps are $1.59 for free shipping or $1.99 free shipping is because you're covering the cost of shipping in that cost. So you better be pretty far under the eBay comps if you're selling like this.
He's not though. He's like right at I think it was 179.
Yeah. Yep. So nope.
All right, let's look at some grading numbers for the month of February. PSA did 1.86 million. That was down 3% for the month. Smaller month, though, shorter month. CGC did 451,000. Beckett did 88,000. Tag did 44,000. And SGC did 41, coming in fifth place. For sports cards, PSA did 626,000. Only 80,000 for CGC. 24,000 for Beckett. 4,000 for Tag. And 38,000 for SGC. And trading card game, 1.24 million for PSA, 370,000 for CGC, 63,000 for Beckett, which was up 52% for the month and up 117% for year over year. Tag did 39,000, which was up 11,000 and up 107 or up 11% and up 176% from last year. And get this, SGC did 3,000 trading card games, up 40% month over month. So people look at the Beckett numbers and go, oh, wow, PSA is bringing Beckett back. It's just people that are getting sick of having to wait 4 months to get their Pokemon cards back from PSA that decided, what the heck, I'll send some to Beckett. Because 63,000 out of the 88,000 that they graded were probably Pokemon cards. If SGC is even getting cards, you know people are at the end of the rope for waiting to get cards back.
What was the BGS percentage that they went up or down from that 88,000?
They were up 33% year over year and up 65% or up 65% year over year and up 83 or 33% month over month.
I mean, that's shocking to me. I mean, and yeah, I get your point. That's probably the case in most of these numbers, with the exception of CGC. They're going to have a large, TCG contingency anyway. So the rest of them probably are people that are just tired of waiting on PSA, and those cards eventually will make their way to PSA holders anyway, right? People are going to get those cards back, see how they graded, possibly crack them, submit them, or sell them as is, and the person who buys them as a BGS 9.5 are going to crack them and send them to PSA eventually anyway. So they'll eventually make their way into PSA slabs. That's just how the game is played, right? But the fact that BGS has not gone the way of SGC yet, I know it's been a much shorter time. I'm curious, and we don't have those numbers in front of us, but I'm curious on how long it took SGC to get as bad as they got, like the juxtaposition between that and BGS at the same time. Like, did SGC have a little bit of a bump?
I think it was about 6 months before their numbers just started to drop off. Yeah. They kind of made the announcement that they were going to make them a boutique grader, and then it started. Yeah.
And because the reason I ask is I'm wondering if, and we said this from the jump with when it happened to SGC, and then, we said the same thing when it happened to BGS after they got bought out, about PSA kind of shutting them down potentially, or basically in essence shutting them down. BGS, if there had to be one that PSA may keep around just because of the lineage of BGS, I could see it being BGS over SGC. Like SGC from the jump, I'm like, that one's they're going to strip it for parts and then get rid of it or let it die. BGS is the one where I could see them actually putting some some value into between the comic book grading, all the other things that BGS grades. I could see them actually letting that one survive, which is sad to say it that way, but actually let that one survive. And these numbers, it's too early to tell at this point, but these numbers are at least promising for them. And I can't imagine that their turnaround times are that much better than PSA's, that people are saying, oh, I don't want to wait the 3 months with PSA. I'll send them to Beckett and wait 2.5 months. Like, I don't, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know
People
if the
might,
turnaround is that.
Might do that, though.
They might.
Even
absolutely.
if per perception, jeez, can't talk. Even for the onion,
It's the onion. That's freaking me out, man.
So, I think BGS also, Joe, to your point, I think with the subgrades, that also allows them to be more of a boutique grading company than SGC.
Like an actual
the same thing,
grading.
Right. SGC is the same thing, except they have the tux. Mike, what was the increase or decrease for CGC sports cars? Do you have that number?
They were
Seems
up
like more.
They were up 51% month over month and up 92%. So yeah, that, I mean, 80,000 isn't a lot, but that's clearly, it's not a lot either compared to the 626 that PSA got. So
right. Yeah, I was just wondering, because I mean, people got to be sending in their sports cards somewhere. I'm sure there's a lot of people that are unhappy with PSA. I mean, it feels like that number was up. So
it's just the wait time is so long that I think you have a lot of people, like, especially maybe people that are grading for their PC and stuff, that like, I don't want to wait 4 or 5 months now. It's at least 4 months right now to get a card back from PSA, and it may be longer. So yeah, why not? They're reasonably priced. They have a great slab. So I think maybe you're going to see just people not looking to flip, but people that just want to have a card graded and protected, maybe using them.
Is the PSA still the only one that does an upcharge? I mean, that might be a factor in as well. You know, people want to send something nice in, and especially if it's a PC card that's nice, they don't want to be upcharged for it. So, you know, maybe that's a possibility. And, you know, I added up everything other than PSA. Over 600,000 cards were graded last month from non-PSA companies. Again, I've said this a ton of times. Could you imagine if someone told people 10 years ago that there's 600,000 cards being graded by 4 companies combined? They would think that that's absolutely ridiculous. Oh, and we forgot to tell you 1.8 million also are being graded by PSA. That is 2.4 million cards were graded on a short month, 28 days.
It's not slowing down.
Yeah, like SGC, like to tell them 10 years ago, you're grading 41,000 cards in the month of February 2026. They'd be like, "Oh shit, we got to be at the top of the board, right? We got to be."
Speaking of upcharges, Joe, did you see there was a Pokemon card that they, like a very expensive one, that they ruined when they put it in the holder?
Yes, I did.
That they used one value from a comp to determine the upcharge, but then when they were going to give him money back, they were going to use like half the amount, give him half the amount of what they declared the value was for the upcharge. Like, again, here they can just do that though. This is what happens when stuff is totally unregulated and they can just do whatever they want.
And wasn't there this whole thing about, we're not, it's like the declared value thing. Didn't they say that they're not really letting you determine what the declared value is? And we had like an issue with that at the time because of shit like this, like for insurance purposes. I'm sorry, the inconsistency in telling someone that their card is worth X when they need to pay for it. It's very much like someone going to a card show, isn't it? Oh, I mean, your card is worth this much from this comp when I want to buy it, but if I was going to go and resell it, it's actually worth this comp. It's absolutely crazy. But again, like you said, Mike, are people going to stop grading? Like, are they going to see this and be like, well, I'm done with PSA now after this shenanigans? Same thing with Fanatics. Oh, I'm done with them after they put a 1-on-1 without a back on it. Like, no, they're going to keep buying because we have 2 major monopolies in this sports card hobby, or the hobby.
And even if people send in the PSA and they get screwed over by the upcharge, like they're gonna be like, oh, I'm done with this. But then a month later, they're gonna send in another order, right?
Oh, the upcharge email I watched Jeff Wilson say it's the greatest thing he ever reads is the upcharge email. Remember that? He loves it.
Yeah,
It means
I
his card's
do.
worth more.
All right, so I always pick what we talk about here. I'm going to give you guys a choice here.
Okay.
Do we want to talk about Tops now, or do we want to talk about Brian Gray for our last little discussion here?
I'll let you choose, EP. You ate an onion today.
I mean, I feel like Tops now is probably what we should talk about.
Okay.
But I want to know what the Brian Gray topic is.
Yeah,
though.
we talk
I
about
don't
Tops
know.
now all the
Yeah,
time. I was kind of hoping you said
Is
Brian
it?
Gray.
Okay, Brian Gray it is.
Okay.
Brian Gray.
Well, Brian Gray was on a video with Dustin, the sports car dad, and he was basically saying that, you know, people were crying and complaining all the time when Panini had things, and now they're doing crying and complaining all the time. Now the Fanatics has it. It's no different. And you're going to love this quote, EP. You're going to be happy to pick this. He said, this is a quote. Here's the thing. There are too many buyers for a finite number of assets, talking about the price of cards or assets, whatever. I guess it could be cards. You wouldn't know by that direct quote there. But yeah, so, you know, basically saying, yeah, stuff is really expensive because, you know, there's only a certain amount of it and there are way too many people that want to buy it. So that's, which is true. I'm not saying that's not true. Kind of gross to put it that way. But, Run Good Life, who does a lot of content on YouTube and stuff too, and he's a breaker, he actually had a pretty good comment though, which made me start to think, you know, he's kind of right. He said that while Brian Gray is right about that, Panini did offer more of their products at lower, in different configurations to give people different price points to buy it. Like Select and Prism and a lot of their popular sets are available in retail formats and other formats. So that kind of got to think about it. You know, they really did. But at the time, it's like, oh, Panini's just making like 10 different versions of this, but they did that and it was more accessible. Like a lot of the products that Topps is putting out, you can't buy a blaster box of. It's just pretty much the basic stuff and the low end and maybe Topps Chrome. So I feel like that's a legitimate point there, though. Panini did give more people a chance to buy stuff, even if like the biggest hits weren't necessarily in it. You could still go to Target and find a blaster box.
Do you want me to go ahead?
Oh,
I was talking right to you.
Yeah, I mean that's like actually a great point. Like you can get Prism and Select, and you can get like all of these different products in Blast. I mean, obviously the prices of blasters and mega boxes and whatever they call them now, super box, whatever value boxes, those prices have gone up, but they're still way more accessible. Where you can't get Finest, like like you said, Mike, it would only be like the lowest end of top stuff you can get in those SKUs. So yeah, I mean, I guess you can get some Ginter, but I mean, like, you can't get Finest. You can't get I can't even think of any of the other upper tier ones. But like that actually makes a lot of. That's a really good point. Maybe they should take a part of the Panini's playbook and make some of that stuff available to us.
Oh, they have their employees. They have some of their employees.
They do.
This out.
I also think, like in a lot of cases, like in the Prism and stuff, I think a lot of their best hits were also available in the retail SKUs. I don't think they had a big difference between the hobby and retail. I think they had a lot of the stuff available. Not everything, but I think they had. It's like you could still pull 101s and stuff and get the kabooms and all those kinds of cards out of the retail stuff. And so that actually is a great point. It's a Brian Gray's quote. That is just false. 100% false. Get out of here with that garbage.
They're selling out everything. I think the gap comes from the fact though that they don't release a lot of, like they did Topps Chrome. But now Finest doesn't have a retail, and like everything else they do is like high end stuff.
Right, Sonic Chrome, Black Chrome.
Yeah, Panini did some, but it feels like Topps does way more. That they're okay. Well, this is like a mid tier, but now we're doing everything on the high tier. I could be wrong about that, but it really does feel like Topps is just putting out way high end products.
When the cheapest stuff coming out of Fanatics in terms of like Marvel cards is Marvel Sapphire Chrome, or I'm sorry, Marvel Studios Chrome, when that's the cheapest one you can get, that tells you something right there. And when it comes to like Panini being accessible, two things can be true at the same time. Panini can have products absolutely accessible, and Panini can be a business trying to make as much money as possible. Those two things do not have to battle each other. That's just things are accessible. People should be happy.
$1,000 a box for Prism Hobby is still ridiculous.
It's still ridiculous, but you can still get retail for $50 or whatever the case might be. And the other thing, I guess, is kind of ties into a little bit of Brian Gray's point is like, this hobby is so interesting because do we actually want things to be ridiculously accessible? Because that means things are worth less. And whether you're, very low end collector where you're picking up 50-cent cards or whatever, you still are putting money into the hobby. So if there is a bajillion of a card and it's worth a penny, like, would this hobby still be around? Like, no, like people want high-end cards. They want their stuff to be worth more money, which means things are going to cost more money to get the things that are worth more money. If everything's a Justin Herbert, nothing is a Justin Herbert, as a line that I've used for 6 years now at this point, 5 years now at this point. Like, so it's a little antiquated with Justin Herbert. People are probably, new viewers are probably like, Justin Herbert? No one wants a Justin Herbert. But like, that's kind of the point though. Like, yes, you want things to be accessible, but you don't want them so accessible that the stuff that you have has lost value, if that makes sense.
So yeah, I'm one of those people who like the value part of it isn't the only part of the value that is big for me is that I can sell that card to get more of the smaller stuff that I like. That said, I understand that there's both sides of the hobby. There's multiple.
You could sell that card, EP, if the card lost value because there's so many of them, right?
Right, and but there are levels of collecting and as far as sales and stuff like that. But I think the issue is that it's skewed so heavily to the higher end stuff, and they're not doing anything for people. I think that's the issue. Is like just push back a little bit, Joe. I feel like they need Topps needs to have more stuff available, accessible to people. But they obviously don't need to go all in with it. They don't need to make everything available, but they definitely need more of it. That's definitely skewed more toward the higher end stuff.
I love hearing that from EP. That's all I want. Clip that. EP complaining about Topps and not having low end accessible stuff. Again, preaching what I've been preaching for quite some time. But yeah, I mean, I completely agree with that point. But I'm saying once that stuff becomes accessible, there's still going to be someone who complains, oh, Select is the perfect example. Select was just hobby. Do you remember those days? It was just hobby. And people were like, I can't get any Select cards. I really wish I could find Select cards. And then they came out with retail. Oh, Panini just with a money grab. They're just putting Select. Now I can get it all the time. You got to pick a lane. Would you either want access to these cards or do you want to bitch that you don't have access to these cards?
Do you know the people in this hobby?
Oh,
that's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Like that's the constant battle you're going to have.
Yeah.
All right. I'm going to play a little game here to wrap up. This has nothing to do with sports cards, but this should be fun.
Okay.
We're going to do a little blind ranking.
Okay.
So I have 5 fast food chains.
I was going to say Fast and Furious movies.
No, and maybe next week.
Yeah.
So you're going to rank these from 1 to 5, from best to worst. Joe, you get to go first. Your first choice is McDonald's.
4.
McDonald's at 4, EP?
Yep.
5.
Okay.
5. Keep track of these because I'm not writing them down. Second, Taco Bell.
Ooh. Oh, hold on. My computer's doing something. As I was writing, no, we're good. We're good. As I was writing something down, it was freaked out. Taco Bell. Boy, how's my stomach feeling that day? I'm gonna go. I love me some good taco. I have some great Taco Bell stories. I'm gonna go 3 with Taco Bell.
Okay.
I'm going 2.
Okay.
Also love Taco Bell.
Yeah.
Okay. Domino's.
5 for me. I like Pizza Hut better. So if I'm gonna get pizza, like fast food pizza, I'm gonna go Pizza Hut. So I'm putting them at 5.
Of course, I struggling.
I have to go 4, I guess, because I have a bad feeling that there are going to be 2 left that are really good.
Or really bad.
Next one,
really bad.
Chick-fil-A.
So, my people may hate my answer to this. My tribe, if you will. Number 1, Chick-fil-A. Sorry, people. Sorry, my people, but yeah, Chick-fil-A number 1.
Chick-fil-A is good, but that's number 3.
Ooh.
I would have put Chick-fil-A 4 and would have put Domino's ahead of it if I could go back and redo it.
So that means number 2 on Joe's list and number 1 on your list, DP, is Dunkin' Donuts.
Oh, gross. No. What the heck, dude?
So
how is Wendy's not on this list? My gosh.
Because I already had a burger joint on there.
I'm not opposed. Like, I would have had Taco Bell number 2 and McDonald's maybe number 3, but famously, every time we would go golfing, on the way to golf, I would stop at Dunkin' Donuts. I would get some sort of iced coffee, and I would get a bagel with cream cheese, a toasted bagel with cream cheese, maybe 2 of them, depending if we were walking.
You had that bagel toaster in your bag.
I had a little bagel. Oh, yeah. That was a huge golf bag, man. And I put those bagels in there, and it was so tasty. So, yeah, I don't hate it. I don't love it. I don't hate it.
Yeah, I mean, I love Dunkin' Donuts coffee, but it would not have been. It would have been 5 probably for me. I would have put Taco Bell
you
first.
You love Dunkin' coffees? I hate their coffee. I really don't like their coffee.
I like all coffee, but their coffee is pretty good. But I don't get.
America runs on it. I've heard.
Yeah.
Not this guy. Not this guy.
Mike's an elitist.
I am. Yeah. Give me
Starbucks.
Give me my Starbucks.
I'm a 50-cent cake
right here.
Oh, these are all sponsors, right? Everybody in the comments,
of course, yeah.
Add all these these businesses.
Let them know that they need to pay us for mentioning them.
Yeah.
All right, guys, that was a pretty good chat this week, and I will see you when? Not tomorrow. Maybe Wednesday. Probably Friday. Not Saturday, but next week. Take care, guys.
Nobody out pizzas the Hut.
Adios.